I'm waiting for see if anybody comes in. Hello, hello. Hey, what's up, Monet? Hey, what's up, Wendy? How y'all doing? I'm tired as hell. Y'all see me and hear me okay? Let me know if y'all can hear me okay. What y'all up to? Hey, Jay, what's up, man? The fluffy grandma's tired, y'all. Yeah, I'm driving in the other one. I got to get a endorsement. Well, I took the written test, but I got the new transportation is local. I have to have a certain endorsement. So next week is preparing for that driving test, and we have to do a whole pre-trip, almost like trucking again. It's pain. And I could have easily had this endorsement back in trucking school for like $10. I'm so pissed off. Lot of money to be made. We'll talk about more. I may have some more, but I want to wait the full 90 days before I get into some things, so I can kind of share with you guys what I've learned. Um, but I want to wait and make sure because there's going to be more coming because I'm going to have two aspects of transportation I can share with y'all. I would tell you at the current place I'm at that I really, really like the people. There is truly that brother and sisterhood in transportation. It reminds me very much of some of the people that came to Monty's funeral, Grumpy's funeral, who worked with him on the railroad. There's a brotherhood to it, sisterhood, however you want to put it, and it is very prevalent at this company I'm at right now. So I'll give you more, and then I have some more details on some other things here locally as well. But I want to wait the full 90 days. I did wipe out in the vehicle. So there's an older lady on the vehicle that was with us. I went to bow down and pick something up, and the person who was test driving, or who was not test driving, but who was driving at the time, hit the brakes, and Fluffy Grandma went forward. So y'all would have seen me sprawled out like a beach whale. Shoulder is bothering me. Got some bruises on the leg, on the left leg, and of the back of my back left leg is real sore. But other than that, yeah, yeah, it's hot as hell here in Arizona. Humidity. The old man Red, the piece of car. The turn signals don't work, the windows don't roll down. So by the time I get home, I'm a drenched mess. Only good part is that I go early in the morning, so the humidity level is high. But I just, yeah, his air conditioner and his turn signals went out on the same day. It might be a fuse. Hell, I haven't even looked. But it looks like if the person who's giving me the furniture may also be giving me their car, which is a better vehicle than this one. Um, and if that's the case, then this car actually, I have somebody who's actually already wanting to buy it. They know it's a point to point. It's not, it's a point to point car. It's just going to get you there and back, and I wouldn't drive too far in it. Something probably no more than 30 minutes of your crib. Unless they have someone who's, hey, Kathy, what's up, baby? Unless they have someone who they know who can do some work on it. There's things that could be fixed, and he could probably make it last a lot longer, but I don't know what the time frame on the car has 214,000 miles. The guy who had it, him and his brother did a lot of janky fixing, and I think they messed up more than they fixed because you should see the inside where he tore out the dashboard stuff. Well, the key stopped working. So I went in there and I saw there's only a little lever that clicks the box, and it clicks the metal button and pushes it, and that's what turns it on. So I just ripped that thing out and you just turn it on with your hand. You gotta love somebody who is just, man, that's they fixes. Anyway, how y'all doing? And yes, it's hot here in Arizona. Where you at? Ooh, y'all, forgive me. Where you at, Monet? In the country. How you doing, Wendy? Are you guys staying where you at, or are you moving? And Mr. J 1500 CC stroke, what's up? And where you at in the country? And Kathy, Texas. I always hope I get it right. Kathy, you Texas. Girl, and that's exactly what he was. But you know what? Prayers for him. He's a truck driver. He did shortly after he sold me the car, he had a heart attack. So he's been on the mend. Oh, Jay, you here in Arizona? I didn't know you was here in Arizona. What part of Arizona? Jay, where you at here in the valley? Are you here in the valley? Are you in you in Tucson. Okay, cool beans. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can arrange something. A friend of mine's brother is in Tucson and he has his own trucking business. He started it in Colorado. He moved back here to Arizona. I know he was living in Phoenix for a while. He's doing very well. He has he's a trucker and he's doing extremely. Oh, Texas hot too right now. He's doing extremely well. What part of Texas you in, Monet? He's doing extremely well. Well enough that the brother been flying around in helicopters and stuff, and he done bought several different. I mean, some people rate their prestige by their vehicles, so I'm gonna, that's people want to be. I want this vehicle, so I'm prestigious. So that's what I'm get. And I don't mean to be hypocritical. I don't know. I'm just different, and I'm more nerd. So, but if I came into money, I already know. Like for me, I used to love the Hummer. Um, I will say the one car I might get is an MKZ. I like that MKZ. I just like the interior of it. But my top favorite car is still a Scion XB. Um, I want an Airstream trailer. I don't know if I'd get a new one. I tend to want to get the old one and have it revamped and just, polished up. Get me a Toyota truck, and I probably would get a diesel Toyota. I'm different. So that's not for me. I'm just different. The BMW, the Mercedes, the Lexus, the all that is not me. So that's not me. And I'd probably have a lot of property with a small house on it and then some raised bed gardening. And I'd probably put another house on there to have, because since I'm older, hire a couple people that live on the property to help me with getting like the raised bed and maintaining the property. That's probably what I would do. And I wouldn't have a lot of animals. I think mainly some dogs and chickens. That's pretty much with me. And that's because I like fresh eggs. I'm totally different. Um, I know people buy cars for prestige, like Grumpy. Well, I look pretty in this. And the sad part was he didn't like to drive. But your view is that you want people to tell you, "Ooh, you look good in your car," or "Ooh, something to stroke your ego." And to me, that's a self-esteem issue. That's why I said I may be fat, but don't ever think confidence is a problem. Fat is a problem. Confidence is not. And I think that a lot of people lack confidence in who they are. Um, and they try to get that fed by ego. And some people are doing all sorts. I look at some of the people now. I'm looking at these girls trying to look like other people, uh, and mimicking. And I think I did. I was a big George Michael fan, so I had the earring with the cross down. And I look back over my youth and I see where it is, where everybody does stuff. Everybody got to be the same. I don't want to be the same. I want to be different. Oh, you coming back into Phoenix? Okay, where you at in Texas, Monet? Oh, okay. Well, congrats that you kept the property, Wendy. And Kathy, you saying I'm like you, that the whole prestige thing is out the door. Yeah. Y'all also be praying for I think you guys remember me mentioning, and I've always, when we sit down and eventually maybe talk to her, Nikki. So Nikki got back. Nikki is the one who's actually giving me her furniture and possibly her car. She's moving actually to Texas, to a suburb of Texas, after she sells her home. But you guys be praying for her. Her father passed, and similar to Monty, they found him in his apartment. Unlike my situation where I was called by someone who knew me and Monty, Nikki's father was found deceased by the police department. They smelled, the body, and he hadn't come out of his apartment. So they did a welfare check, and while she was over the road in think she was in Cali. They called and let her know. And so then she came back here. She just went back out today. She came back in, got into his apartment, got the necessary paperwork. Um, I know she's working with the cemetery and the mortuary and the VA. So yeah, be praying for her and her family. It's a very unique situation, but it's weird because me and Nikki have on a father situation, we have very similar. Our fathers weren't very close, and we didn't grow up with them. And so, I mean, she knew him like I knew Monty, but there's things about Monty I didn't learn until I was older. So again, he wasn't present in her life growing up, similar to mine. But just be praying for her because he did list her as next of kin, which I thought was good. But she's got to deal with all of this. So y'all just keep her in prayer. And then trying to bounce back from working your driving job to this. But yeah, but no, I'm going to be later. I'll be talking about some. Once I get it, once like I said, once I lock in my 90 days with everything. I know Big Springs is. They got a TA right there in Big Spring. Um, I think that's the main truck stop. Is TA there in Big Spring. I don't know if they got too much else. I just remember TA. TA Flying J is one of them. I think it's a TA. I think it's a TA. It's either TA or Flying J. I thought it was TA in Big Spring. They don't got a lot in the truck stop area. But I'm familiar with Big Spring. And but yeah, so I'll be going into some things locally because what I'm doing, I did not know. And you can, and again, people by prestige, but you can tell while I'm in training, these people are making money. So I did not, I knew they made money. I just didn't know the type of money they made. And I was like, what? But where I'm at, you could make anywhere upwards of I know within 5 years, you'll be making $30 an hour. Okay. It is union. I will tell you that. And unlimited, a lot of overtime, pretty much unlimited. They have people that are driving for them that are making anywhere from 100 to $140,000. Um, Oh, Kathy, you didn't catch up. So yeah, I'm not at the other place, and we'll do a behind the scenes. Some people know what took place, but I'm not at the other place, and we'll talk about that later. Oh yeah, because that I did a video prior to this one, kind of catch up with that one, and you'll find out. So I'm back in transportation, but not trucking. I'm in a different field of transportation. So I'll go more into detail. I'm just trying to do my 90 days first before I get into everything because I just want to make sure after your 90 days, you're pretty much in the door. I don't want to get into open discussions. I don't know that they even know this channel exists, but I'd rather do that. But there's a lot I can tell you and a lot I can help people who want to be home every night and you want to be in your bed. There are some special caveats to it. So y'all know I try to keep it 100. So right now I'm in my learning process and there's some things I will definitely share with you at the 90-day mark on everything because you are in your bed every night, but you don't have to deal with a certain client base. Let's put it like that. And then I did meet, which I thought was interesting. I did not know. Hey, Chicago BBW, what's up? I, yeah, okay. So I'll Chicago. Let me come back to the water issue because I got issues with how they handling our water here in Arizona. And yes, I believe we should be water rationed. And no, we have not been water rationed yet. I heard Tucson may have something, but I don't know. Jay, are you still on here? If you're on here, Jay, let me know if Tucson is rationing water because Jay was on here. I don't know if he's still on here. If he is, I heard Tucson was rationing, but I don't know if that's true or not. Phoenix is not. That's it. There was a pilot down there in Big Spring. Okay, I knew there was a TA, and there's a big old TA down there. But I didn't know there was there a pilot? I can remember a pilot, but it might be. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, y'all, since I've been to Big Spring. Um, I think that pilot was new. Maybe I have been to that pilot. I think it was new. As it should be, as Arizona should be, as California should be, as all of them, New Mexico and all the rest of them should be. Yeah, it says union based, and there's two companies I'm gonna be talking about. So let me deal with the job first, real quick, and then I'm gonna jump over to the water issue. Thank you, Jay. Um, I will talk more about it. So what happened? My other job, they were doing layoffs. My friend Linda got laid off, and what they're doing is some janky letting of people go. That's how they're doing it now. It's real janky. So my last day was a Tuesday. I was supposed to be, I was going to go to, I've been looking for employment because I knew with the first big layoff, they were going to be doing some other janky stuff. Okay. I knew it. I already had knew that the layoff was coming, even though they weren't announcing it because they were doing some really shady stuff with the hours and a whole bunch of stuff. So my friend Linda, who referred me in, she actually got it was in the first layoff. And then I know subsequently they've been just letting folks go, okay? For any and everything under the sun. Just weird, nonsensical stuff. So I was going to a friend of mine on Facebook sent me actually Laura, the one who does the trucker 411 with us. She's not actually a driver, but I told you she had like an uncle in trucking, and then she also her uncles had several uncles who were mechanics. So she just found an interest in it, and she did a lot of our news posts. So she's still on there as an administrator, but she sent me because she's here in Arizona and she knew I was looking. So she sent me a job fair for some transit stuff here in the valley. Big transit job fair, huge. And so I went, and there were several different companies. I had two major interests. Okay. Um, so I had two major interests. One was, well, I'll talk about that in 90 days because there's some other stuff going on. So I had two major interests. I put in for two companies. Uh, I was basically, my employment ended on Tuesday. I was at the job fair on Wednesday, which I was going to regardless. And on Thursday, the job offer was made to me for where I'm at right now. I have some other stuff in the background that has been coming to me too. So I've been praying because that's what I said. I got to let the whole 90 days to know how I'm moving. Where I'm at, I really like the people. I love the people. I do have some concerns about safety in the actual job based on part of what you have to do and interactions, which I'm going to get into after the 90 days. Okay. So at the 90 days, I'm going to lay everything out, and then I'll lay everything for you guys out because I think it's a great company. And if you're here locally or even in your own state, this particular career field is open and you can do well. I can tell you for a fact, and don't nobody in here who knows where I'm at say anything because some people do know in the background. Um, I do know that there are people in the driving field that are making anywhere from 100 to 140,000 a year at this company. That's for those who are willing to do the overtime and the extra. So in transportation in these fields, they have something called the extra board. So you get your set schedule, but then you can pick up extra runs. And with those extra runs, anywhere from let's say up to maybe 10 to 20 hours a week, you can bring in just doing 10 to 20 might get you. One lady said her friend's been there 2 years. She said she's just shy of 75,000 um, for last year. She was just shy of it. But there are drivers there, and you can tell by and I hate to say it because folks want a style and profile. You can tell by the whip sitting in the parking lot, and you a driver rolling up. And I'm like, and nice whips. I mean, nice whips. And they stepping out. They Teslas, and again, I don't rate it, but I know that for you to have that and to see plenty of them sitting in the lot, the trucks, all that, just yeah, they making loot. Not really a hard job. Actually, it's not hard at all. Um, but my concern is, like I said, client base that you have to deal with in this particular realm. There's another avenue which I was talking to that group. And that avenue was more of something I was looking at because something I wanted to do ever since they brought it to the valley. I just never knew how to apply for it. And that was actually something that came onto the table too. I will have more details on that. But I want to do my full 90 days and then I can let you guys know. Um, Thank you. Everybody who's on here, like, thumbs up, share it out. What I do like I said, the work people, the people at the company, love them. There is a brotherhood, a camaraderie, an atmosphere that is just positive and it feels good. It's not like where you're dealing with a bunch of angry truckers and folks, semi happy and hate their job and a bunch of game. It's pretty much what you see is what you get. I mean, that's one thing I do like about it. It's not a lot of bull, but again, you also have union based. So, and they have various different roles you can do. So, I'll cover more. I will cover more. It'll just going to be out. Give me the 90 days to work it in, and I'll share more. Um, and I'll share more on both aspects because, like I said, I'm getting information for both. I'm in one, but I have information coming on the other one as well. And then I'll be able to share. But there is a huge in Arizona. There's a shortage in this area. They're hiring big time. I will tell you the truck driver side, even though it is a commercial license required for one of these two. One of them doesn't require a commercial license. It does require the DOT physical. It just doesn't require a commercial license. The other one does require the commercial license. And if you're a Class A, you will have to get a special endorsement added to your license. And you will also have to do, and not only the written, but you'll have to do a physical test just like you did in a truck for like, regular trucking driving. So they require that too, unless you already have the endorsement, which we'll talk about later. The other gig is not requiring a CDL license, but requires a DOT physical. And and then the other thing that I'm gonna say is the other one I think is a little more safe because you're secured into a room, um, which to me is safer. You're still doing transportation, but you're secured into an area almost like a co-pilot. So there's some good things. Okay, talking about monkeypox, I'm gonna come back to the water. I don't know about getting rid of owner ops. I think if you own your own company, you got to learn how to manage that fuel better. But I think whatever Biden did, which I don't think we'll ever know what the deal was made because he did something, y'all. I'm just gonna say that. Don't ever think that man did something. He went down there and he did something, y'all. Because them fuel prices didn't drop for no reason. I don't know what agreement was made in the background, but something was made in the background. Um, I'm trying to think how to put this. Um, let's go to water, and then I'll come back to monkeypox and owner ops. So, water rationing. If y'all haven't seen water, we already knew there was going to be a water issue. This is not new. I believe due to the political climate, and Arizona is our governor's Republican. I'm just going to go here, and and I'll be honest, I don't know if it's Republican or Democrat. I don't know if either or would do this right because of where we're at right now. Since we're in an election season, these people are they're trying to play so they can get back into office and especially help their party back into offices. So we don't want to offend. So therefore, if they do rationing, it's just like right now, everybody pissed off at what's going on with the economy and they're blaming Biden. I don't care who's in office. The economy was going to be bad regardless because of what's going on with what happened with COVID and other stuff. All of this was going to happen. It doesn't matter if it was Trump in office or if it was Biden in office. Whoever would be in office, it could be Donald Duck in office. This all was going to happen. We can't avoid it. We had the world shut down. We had a whole bunch of issues. All this is going to happen. We have climate change. Biden, Trump, none of them is Jesus, none of them is God. So what's going on with the climate, what's going on with the atmosphere, what's going on with the weather, this is not in man's hand. This is a God issue. And the only part that was in man's hands was the fact that we kept doing what we wanted out of greed instead of trying to respect this planet. So I'm going to go ahead and produce whatever I'm going to produce. And I'm not going to change how I'm going to produce it because I don't want to spend the money in order to not affect the atmosphere and the climate. So therefore, we grew up under I'm 19, I graduated in 1986. When I was in high school, the thing that was always talked about was something called global warming. Climate change, global warming are hand in hand, same thing. And all of a sudden, you didn't hear anything about it. Matter of fact, if you guys remember, Al Gore did a whole video and they talked about him. I remember Republicans talking about him and he's a tree hugger and all sorts of stuff. And now I'm 54 years old. So if I was in high school, graduated at like 17 years old, and we're talking about, I think it was an Invisible Truth or something like that. And now Invincible Truth, something like that. that Al Gore did, and now all of a sudden we're seeing manifest what he talked about way back then. So things like the water would be affected. So the whole Southwest region right now, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California, can't remember if Colorado is impacted. I think you are because it is a Colorado River that we do use. But this whole quarter part down here, we're in trouble. Uh, I was talking to one of the guys here next door to me. He's Native. I know he's Native American, and he said that he says right now, he says what's crazy. He said these this is what's crazy. He says you can go to golf courses here in Arizona and they got tons of water and they're making sure that grass stays green, but they're telling farmers they got to ration water. He said, how much sense does that make? Makes sense for the wealthy. I want my comforts, I want my conveniences, and that's what's going on right now, in my humble opinion, with why in Arizona we're not rationing like we should. And so there's nothing really about it in Phoenix. Oh, Nevada's another one. Thank you, Kathy. I knew there was another one. Yeah. And so, and then you got a certain group demographic, that, well, they could do this and they could do that in order to solve this problem. And there's us other places they could get water from. I'm asking a question, and just maybe it's me. Why would people who lived here screw themselves so that they couldn't get water from somewhere else? And they politicians. There's a there's a problem, Houston. So what you saying? You got people that's coming out the side of their neck, and I'm like, they don't even live here. You don't even live here. Nobody is going to sit here in a position of power, and there's some kind of alternate solution, and that alternate solution is not in play. That just doesn't make sense to me. So we are in trouble. We are in trouble. Now, how they going to resolve this? I don't know. I do know that I watched the news article talking about them recycling sewer water. I do know that. Water. I do know that. And that's why I told people my garden didn't do good. I got to get out there and I'm going to mess with it some more. But right now I'm getting ready for this furniture. So I got to get them boxes out of there. Actually, once I get off here, I've just got in the house. Me and Linda, my friend Linda, we went and had, I don't know if any of y'all had dim sum. We went and had dim sum this morning, found a place near me I've been wanting for a while. Very good. Some of it was, but a lot of, I do like dim sum. I haven't been in a long time. And so we went and had dim sum and had a good time. She's very finicky. She's what I call a black eater. Love her, but she's a black eater. So she's used to certain foods, and if it ain't that, Linda is stepping out her comfort zone. Is very hard for her. Like I tried to have her have duck today. She won't eat duck, but she'll eat something with duck fat that's cooked in duck. I said, what's the difference? It's a bird. You eat chicken, right? It's a bird. She wouldn't try it. I love Linda. She's so cute to me. She's funny. But yeah, you guys, what I'm going to just tell you is if you are here in Arizona, anywhere in the Southwest region, you guys, like right now, I have stacks of water. Once I was doing me another Costco run, every Costco run, I'm getting bottled water. You need to have ways to filter water. I got like a little Asian one. I really, 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 really want a Berkey. And once I start working my normal shift with the overtime, that will be something I'm gonna set money aside. I'm gonna get me a good Berkey, because Berkey you could filter some of the worst water and it's drinkable. It's probably one of the best filtering water containers ever. So, but they're expensive. They're usually in the range of at least I think you can get like a small one for like a couple $100. The larger ones you're going to go 400 plus. But they're amazing filter systems. But there's so much going on in conjunction with water. It is my firm belief you guys are going to see massive, massive issues with food starting sometime next year. Obviously, with the water issues, and a lot of people aren't looking at the big pictures. One, the natural disasters we've had, not only here but abroad. If you look at China right now, China's trying to get a lot of grain and stuff from us in an agreement, but they've had massive flooding. They're not going to bring in their rice yield that they normally use, their grain and rice yields that they normally bring in. We then have the whole war going on in Ukraine. I did not know how much Ukraine expedited to other parts of the world when it comes to grain, but it is quite a bit. And I'm not talking America, I'm talking the Middle East. So then if they're not going to go there, they're going to come here. Um, Thank you, Miss Kathy. There's a whole bunch that is going on, and I'm a firm believer. Like I said, every time I've been shopping, if I do shopping, my thing is I get canned goods. Um, I've gone to the grocery store a couple times. I still do Instacart for a lot of my delivery, but and I've actually started my Walmart too. And anytime I order groceries, I order canned goods, and then I'll also be doing some canning as well. Um, Once I'm trying to get this garden going again, I got a drip system this time around. So I'm gonna try to get my drip system in. I got a mister system. We're gonna try it again and see if we can't get it going. But it did not do well. The heat was so bad that even as my tomato plant was coming up and doing good, it grew really big, just like last year. Even in the shade, the leaves were it was so hot it started curling. So I'm gonna see if I can get on a drip system, which is a more to maybe keep the soil cool and get it the right amount of water that it needs on a continuous basis. But all I had three different tomato plants, and all of them just none of them are surviving. I have like maybe three right now, and they're I'm gonna try some fertilizer, see if there's any way to bounce them back, but they're not surviving. The only thing out there that's doing good right now is my sweet potato plant. But sweet potatoes grow well in warm, hot, dry weather. They do very well, especially sweet potatoes do extremely well. So that's the only thing that may come out of this okay. The rest of my stuff is not doing good at all. Um, Trying to think what else I wanted to tell you guys. Somebody else mentioned monkeypox. So Monet, I don't know what's going on with the monkeypox. You gotta help me out. I know right now it's huge in New York. I know it's huge among gay males. Um, but that is not the only people that it is, and it's usually some kind of body to body contact is how you get it. See people do them small greenhouses in the backyard. And see, that's another okay. Chicago BBW, girl, come on now. Let's go here. So I watch another lady, and she's in the Carolinas. And I also believe this is some spiritual stuff going on too because of what's getting ready to happen. And I also believe that because of climate change, things are different where you normally would grow and how your normal growing procedure, but even critters, insects are different. This lady said, she's in the Carolinas. She said, I grew up here. And she said, my grandparents, she's go out there, boom, boom, boom. She says, she been hit by all sorts of insects, stuff that's not usual, out of the ordinary. My grandfather garden here. I was in a newspaper next to a squash he grew that was like this. It was up to my when I was a little girl. It was tall as I was at the age of 7 or 8 years old, and I was standing next to it with the squash in the paper because he had grown this really big, big squash. Um, Ooh, Mississippi. Mm. Well, I'm not a fan of certain areas of the South, Alabama, Mississippi. I don't know. It's just because of the Klan. We went in. I can't. I've been through all Mississippi, Alabama, pretty much all the South. And when I was 13, and I didn't know that the Klan. And we had a cousin who had a lot of. Oh my God, that's the first time I had was fresh chicken eggs and fresh meat from where they render the animal there, and then do this. Oh my God, it was good. But I'm just gonna say this. When you tell me I can't go out my house after 6 o'clock at night because the Klan existed, I might get lynched. And that was 1982. Yeah, yeah. The Klan still do what? Yeah. Just go. What I'm gonna say, Chicago BBW. Go if it's free land and that's where the Lord is leading you. Go check it out. Go see what's around it, and that might be where the Lord is leading you. And you may end up homesteading there, and that's nothing wrong with that. You may find somewhere that is peace, and if that's what you've given, and God opens that door, run with that ball. Because yeah, Chicago. I wouldn't want to live in Chicago. And if I had the choice between Chicago and Mississippi, should Mississippi sound like a winner if I ain't dealing with a whole bunch of racist folk? Just be careful in Mississippi because there is a certain mindset to it. It's going to be very different from Chicago. It's like I met a girl, and I don't know where the girl from at the company I'm with, and she initially said New York, then she said Chicago. I don't know where the hell the girl from, but then she told me, we think you people are weird here in Arizona. I'm like, well, hell, we think y'all weird in New York. Which just different. It's culturally different. Arizona blacks, yeah, we are different. And the sad part is she's looking at it as it's Arizona blacks. A population of Arizona blacks here is very rare. A lot of people who are black in Arizona leave here after they become grown. So most of the black people you see here are from everywhere the frick else, from California, Chicago, Texas. They're from everywhere else. They're not natives of Arizona. So I'm like a unicorn. That's like when people meet me like, you from Arizona? I don't ever see Arizona native. You're a native? Wow, you guys are really rare. Most people are natives are gone. They're going somewhere else. I'm going like a lot of them went to Cali. You know, I have zero to decide. The only thing I want to do in California is a vacation and go eat. Well, I want nothing else. I want to live in California. You can keep California. Like I said, other than a vacation, that's it. Like Nevada, I like to go to. I'm not a gambler, but I like to. I like to go for the buffet. I Chinatown and go get something to eat, and then bring my butt home. Maybe stay at a hotel and sleep and rest. But casinos and stuff. And for me, gambling, my gambling choice would be I'm a bingo person, so I'd go to play bingo and call it a day. So yeah, like I said, go see where your land is. That's what I would do. I mean, Monty, his sorry behind. We had land in Oklahoma, and he didn't get it back to his mom. My grandmother was Choctaw Chickasaw, so he inherited land. He could have left the land to us. Instead, he never, because it wasn't something he cared about, because it didn't have to do anything with him, and he didn't think beyond himself. He never went to go find out more about the land, and then he could have easily, left that for us and the siblings, and then we could have lived on it. He didn't do that. And that would be about the only reason, because I'll be honest, I wouldn't want to. I've been around Oklahoma people. I wouldn't want to live there either. But if it's free land and it was something I could live on, I would have put a tiny house up on that bad boy, hired me some people, and homesteaded it. And Oklahoma ain't nowhere I really want to live either. So we there too. Yeah, I was not feeling it. It's hatch chili season too. I just did some smoked hatch chilies. I went to go get some more, but the ones I saw were horrid. I was like, ooh. So tonight I may stop. They got some for 75 cents a pound over at Bash's. I'm gonna go see if those are better. If they better, I might go get them. But the ones I saw were horrid at the Mexican store I went to. I was like, I'm good. I'm going over here. So when I go do laundry, probably tonight or in the morning, I'll go and check and see if their hatch chilies at the other one is a little better. If it's better, I'll go there. Maybe I do some vegan because they got a vegan restaurant over there too. I'm just waiting for it to cool off. Not familiar with West Palm. I might have been through West Palm. I've been through all over the. Like I said, go look. And I'll be honest, Alabama, Mississippi, gorgeous places. It's just like I said, it's that racist behind the scene clan behavior. But even in Lubbock, I felt like when I was there, oftentimes, I felt like it was a yes a master environment. Like even how the interaction between whites and blacks there, it was disturbing. The little trucking company I worked at, the people were nice, but it was very much he didn't have no minorities in that office, and any of the minorities out in the repair shop. One of them who probably could have ran better. He made sure all his people were over it. I don't know. They might have been Mormon based because that's something a lot of Mormon people do. When they have businesses, they make sure that they put their family and friends and all them people in positions so they can watch over them. It's I'll leave it alone. It's just different. But that's something that they do within their group, and very different. But do you boo boo? It ain't my company. It's yours. But no, everything as far as everything else is good. My shoulder is kicking over here. When I went to fall, I don't know if I when I pulled up or if it was when I went and did the fall, but the shoulder is kicking. And then, like I said, I got really bad bruise right here that's showing itself, and then the back of the thigh. Other than that, I'm just happy. I don't believe I broke anything. This I can move. It's just it hurts like hell when I move it a certain way. Forward right here is okay. When I move it back, hurts. When I move it up and over, it hurts. Yeah. So it almost feels like maybe a whiplash. The best thing I can say. But no, the water thing, I'm concerned. But yeah, I'm gonna get my garden going again. I'm gonna try. I gotta look and see where we're at. I'm gonna see if I can do some tomato plants. I really wanted tomatoes. I still did not get fresh tomatoes. Um, I'm gonna eventually get me one of those for in the house. What do you call them? You grow in the water. I forgot what they call. Arrow gardens. I'm gonna get one of those for in the house in the kitchen. Um, and then I will be getting some bottles together for stuff. I don't think I broke anything. I don't. I mean, I'm able to use my arm. I'm able to walk, so I don't think I broke anything. We'll see. Right now, I need the income coming in, so I don't want to know workman comp crap because workman comp don't pay nothing. So I'm able to move around. Jaden, what's up, baby? My Jaden's on here. Yeah, but no, I don't. I'm just believing the Lord that it's okay. It's just sore. It was doing okay, and then I went to move myself in my bed the other day, and all of a sudden it just started that weird pain again. And then I may have, like I said, I'm gonna have more for you guys. I'm waiting on some more information, some stuff, so I'll be able to give a lot of details on the transportation locally. Both things that I looked at and talked to people at the two areas, you're gonna make anywhere from all both of them within 5 years. You're making over $30 an hour, both for union. Um, One does require you to have a CDL, the other one does not. But you do have to get DOT physicals. So I'm fine on the DOT physical. I passed DOT physicals for both. Um, but I got to weigh everything in the balance, and that's what I'm doing. I really, like I said, I like the people where I'm at. I like them a lot, but I'm weighing everything in the balance because my biggest thing is safety. At the end of the day, I can like you all I want, but I ain't trying to die for nobody. And what I've seen some stuff that is disconcerting, and I'm weighing all that. And then family and friends are like, hey, they're praying for me to do another thing, so we'll see. But I'll lay it all. It's all still transportation, both. But the door is open. I believe that the door opened from all the trucking stuff to where I'll be whatever route I ultimately settle in, I'll be comfortable. And both routes are what I would call, these are going to be what they call essential industries. And whatever you do right now, people, you need to be in essential industries because next year is going to be a whole different ball game. I'm just going to let you know. The cost of food is not changing. It's actually going to get worse. The fuel prices will stay down for now, because that's a thing that was needed for, and they knew that they needed that for political reasons. And so we don't know behind the scenes, oh, well, he gave him a fist bump and blah, blah, blah. Honey, fist bump, I don't give a dang about the fist bump. I'm going to tell you what's going on. What you want to know is what kind of deal was made behind closed doors. Because there was some deal behind closed doors. Something took place. The prices of fuel just didn't drop. Whew, I feel good today. I'm going to drop the price of fuel. No, baby. And yeah, no. Mm-mm. That's why when they say, oh, Russia, I'm like, when did Russia? Because America, ever since I've known, our fuel came from the Middle East. I'm trying to figure out when we started getting fuel from Russia. Somebody need help. There's a lot of marketing stuff that folks is saying, and I'm like, are you really buying what you've been told? Are you really buying that? Folks buying it. They buying the BS. I'm like, okay, you go on and buy the bull stuff if you want to. You go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna tell you right now, something the hell ain't right. And am I the only one that there is absolutely nothing on television? And I'm not watching really TV. I watch web TV, but even stuff, the series stuff, y'all forgive me, it's demonic. I don't want to hear about a bunch of witchcraft, a bunch of, I don't know. It's some stuff that's just dark. I'm like, this is some dark stuff, horror base, demonic base, witchcraft. I'm like, what in the hell? No, just Murder She Wrote, or just normal. I can't. I have to go back and look at the old stuff. I can't. Me and Linda were talking. Linda said some of the new stuff. It's just it's weird. I'm like, this is some. I'm like, this is really weird. Weird. And the logic and the thinking, and I'm just like, it's like I watched like a minute of the BET awards, and I couldn't do it anymore. Some chick on the table, and she's doing like she in a strip club. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, this is just too hoish. And little Kim, I don't know what the hell. I was like, oh my God. She was already hoish, but she took it to a whole nother level. I was like, okay, this is not good. You kind of cracked out, sis. I don't know what this is. But yeah. Other than that, Mr. Jaden, I'm doing good. As I said, I took a spill, and this right here on the left, it hurts a little bit. Oh, I can do that. Hurts back there. Hurts, 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 hurts. And I just been stretching it. Come here, it's okay. Come down. So, but it's right in here. You can feel it. So, but other than that, y'all, I will try. I don't know if I'm gonna do every Saturday, and I'm gonna start doing EP1. I saw somebody do that, and I thought that makes sense because I always call it the shiz, and just talk about stuff. And like I said, give me about 90 days, and I will go over everything, and I will tell you guys and make recommendations, and even in your own city, if you can get in. Oh. So while I'm at this company I'm at, let me just explain. I met somebody. So they've had to, because they're so short manned, they've hired, which I didn't know they had this for CDL. So let me share this. So they hired these people, which are contractors, to help them with the driving jobs we do, right? I did not know that they can contract a company, and the company brings in CDL drivers all across the US to help with whatever business. And it can be anything from trucks to buses to, think, even like the local like subways and trains, all of that, if they need help. So they bring these people in. These people are similar to what they call a traveling nurse, but they're traveling CDL holders. The company puts these guys up in hotels, gives them rental car, gives them a per diem. And the brother I met, he said he had just come back from California. He'd been in Atlanta for like almost a couple of months, and they take care of his housing, everything. I was like, shut the front door. Had I known about that, I would have been no more good. I don't want to travel now, but back in the day, had I known, baby. I mean, it could be anything from tour bus driver to anything like that. And as a CDL holder. And so they've contracted, I think they have like 13 to 20 of them that they've contracted in to the place I'm at because they're so short staffed. And they just take on the job. They come out. So he did part of the training. He was one of the driving and hit the brakes when I fell. And he's from New York. He was Trinidadian. He's totally cool brother. And he was totally cool. We got along great, Mr. Leon, and he was totally cool. But yeah, I did not know they did that. I don't know if I find out more, if I see him again and I find out more about it, I will let you guys know about the company. I didn't think to ask him that because I really want to know. Not that I want to go to it, but I was telling Nikki about it, and I thought this is a cool job because once she leaves here, she's no longer wanting to do over the road. Whatever she does, she wants to do local. And I told her if what I'm doing is available in Texas, and I know it's available in a lot of states, but if it's available where she's going to be in Texas, I would recommend her going this route. You're in your bed every night. You got good benefits. She's a hustler. You work like 10, 20 hours of overtime, and you're raking in cheddar. And within 5 years, if there's 5 years, I think the Lord is coming back before then. But within 5 years, if we're still here, you're gonna be bringing in over $30 an hour. So at that point, you'd be bringing in from 100 to 200,000 a year with OT, and it's all hourly. If you want to move up into management, those are options available to you for you too. Safety, a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, their maintenance, it just drives the stuff around on the yard and takes it through to fuel it and to wash it. Them guys make 18 bucks an hour, and they're union. Their mechanics are union. I mean, it's a union shop. The only thing that's not union, but I guess it used to be, was their supervisors. And even the supervisory roles are hourly. And if you work overtime, and they even do our job as well, they're raking it in, and they're starting them at like 24 bucks an hour. So it's good money to be made. Anyway, y'all, how long we been on here? We've been on here 50 minutes. What other questions y'all got? Can't think of anything. I still recommend saving, definitely food. Um, don't put all your money in one account. That's the other thing. So right now I just opened up two. Well, I have a brokerage checking account, and I have a regular checking account, and I have another account that I use. Um, let's see. I got two major bank accounts. Let's put it like that. And well, one brokerage, and then one is a credit union. I don't really like banks, so I recommend credit unions over banks. That's my thing. So get a credit union account, and then if you can try to get a brokerage account, you can do that through companies like Schwab, Morgan Stanley. I don't know who else. Those are the two that I know. I used to have a brokerage checking account when I was at Schwab, and then I have one right now with Morgan. So yeah, and there's different, and you can also trade in those. I'm still buying Bitcoin, and I'll go into that. I'll start doing some stuff on that. Right now, Bitcoin has gone down. Well, it's best to buy it while it's low, and if the market changes, it'll go up. So I don't think it's wrong anything. And again, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. What's with these new drivers in the industry not using CB radio? Well, Jaden, CBs don't really aren't all that prevalent anymore. I had a CB, and I mainly, even at the end, I did sell it once I came off the truck. But the CB radio to me was better for just really when you're over the road and if traffic was backed up, you would listen and hear, if they were on there to tell you what was going on. That was where the CB radio was good. But you also could do road conditions. But things like all of a sudden you're sitting there, you put the CB on, you're able to hear if there's an accident far up ahead, if the other driver has it. But a lot of people don't use CB radios anymore. They just don't. What I will say, and I don't think that's just something. It's the technology is not where it used to be, and it used to be even when you went to a shipper. When I first started out, some of the shippers would tell you turn the channel whatever on the CB, and they would let you know when to bump the dock or when to come up in with your load. Those things aren't really prevalent with the advent of the cell phone. Most drivers have a cell phone. They just send a message, what's your phone number? And they'll either put you on like a text list, like when you go and you'll get an alert or your phone call to your cell. The CB radio is not really huge anymore, unfortunately. And it's just because the technology, I think, is leaving out. Um, the most way you could now use it if you're going to be what they call a ham radio operator. Those are people who, like, I had one of my trainer Bill, not trucker Bill. He was a cool white cat. He was into the ham radio, so he was like a ham radio operator. So we would be on the road, and he would have people he was talking to in England and other countries. If you're doing it for stuff like that, I think that's more of a hobby based. But using it in the vein of trucking, that's kind of going out the window. And a lot of times when you're on the CB, I'll be honest, I would turn it off. It was either a bunch of nasty men saying a bunch of nasty stuff. A lot of times they were sitting up there looking for the prostitutes within the truck yard. It wasn't worth your time. It wasn't. What's up, Monet? She said, "Baby." What's up, Monet? What's going on? I want to know. I want to know. Were you saying bye or are you saying baby? So you might be like, yeah. Yeah, so what I'm in is different. Like I said, it's a different type of transportation. I like it. Like I said, I may have two things that are on the table. One I'm in right now, and the other one may be presenting itself. I don't know. And then I have to make some choices. Like I said, I really like the people that I'm working with now. Um, but the other one, it just has more security options available to it. And a lot of my family and friends are like, dude. And I'm like, okay, just pray in the Lord's direction. But either one, by the time it's over with, I'll be able to give you details on both. And both pay very well. Both are union. Like the fall that happened, that wouldn't have happened in the second one. It wouldn't have happened. Make that bag. Yeah, but I'll like I said, I'll give you more and I'll explain more on how they're making. And let me just say this. I knew about this and actually had applied to this back in 2016, was offered it, but the facility was so far away I couldn't do it. Because I didn't have a car at the time and it was like over an hour and some change from where I lived at the time. And you would have they only had transportation that went so far with the public transit, and I couldn't have done it. So because it's critical that you be there on time. This location is like by freeway, like 5-10 minutes from my house. Only thing is I don't take the freeway because old man Red is not in the best shape. And since his turn signals and stuff don't work, I just take the streets because I have more control. Um, Later I'm not too worried. And then the other location, if that decides to come fully in fruition, if I decide to go that route, that's 20 some minutes from the house. And again, it's close enough that I'm not too worried about it. The plus about them is that I can actually take them into work with the way it's set up. So, because that's like literally up the street from my crib. But yeah, we'll chat more about everything here shortly. Anyway, y'all, it's almost an hour, and I may come on. I don't know if I'm gonna come on every Saturday. Y'all in the comments, not the chat, but in the comment section, let me know if y'all want to see these like every Saturday or every other Saturday. I might do that. I haven't decided. And I'll start doing this more and get the chats in. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about some stuff. And y'all, I'm just random. I talk about whatever's on my mind. Um, Again, I'm huge on this right now, guys. Food security is going to be an issue. Stock up on if you're not canning and you're not on a farm, or if you don't know how to can, either research it and start stocking up. Every time you go to that grocery store, buy canned goods. Buy what you eat though. So like right now, I eat potatoes on occasion. I got canned potatoes in here. I did do this Margaret Holmes. I don't like her stuff, so I'm gonna end up putting it in a stew. Um, garbanzo beans, you can make hummus, but you can also make a stew with it. I got hominy, you can make stew. Buy stuff that you know you can make stuff with. Canned vegetables, most people eat carrots. Most people eat peas and carrots, mixed vegetables, things like that. You need mushrooms. Do that. Chef Boyardee, if you grew up on it as a kid, it's a pre-made meal. You can open that up and eat it in a pinch. And it doesn't even have to be heated, but you can do that. And then also have something to cook on that may not require gas or may not require electricity in case you have issues. Look at Texas. So, like right now, I can literally go in my back patio, throw some charcoal and some wood on that grill, and I can cook anything. You can take a pot and cook and heat something up. You can do propane, but understand propane needs to be refilled. And remember what happened in Texas. All of a sudden, they standing in line and they're waiting for propane if they could even get it. So to me, you need to go back to bare bone basics, get some wood in the back, or areas where you can get wood, stack that up because you don't necessarily need a lot of wood to heat something up. And then ways to get it lit up, that aren't necessarily fuel. You can get these little things that are like little cubes. Put that cube in there, light it, and that thing will light everything up. I used two the other day to keep a fire going in the grill, and it just threw them in there. Boom! It had it lit up, and I was just roasting hatch chilies. So anything like that, just make sure you guys just take care of yourself and make sure, like I said, and stock up because that's the one thing where everybody else has been hit with. Oh, the prices is going up, and honestly, when I go to the grocery store, I might spend some money, but I ain't spending what everybody else is doing because a lot of people are buying stuff that they just didn't have on hand. Me, I can come back here right now. I got crushed tomatoes back here. I want to go and make me some spaghetti. I got Prego. I got Hunt's. I take that, some crushed tomatoes. I want to make a stew, grab some crushed. It might not be fresh, but I can make a dang good meal. I got cans of soup back here, all different types of soup. Soup is on sale, and if it's on sale, buy it in quantity. Rice aroni for the other day. I went in, it was 69 cents a box. Normally now it's over two something a box, and the box is smaller. Y'all gotta look at stuff too. It's smaller than what you used to buy. I went in there and bought whatever the maximum quantity was. That's what I bought. Um, canned goods. If there's like I said, if it's on sale, and then if you have rewards through your places, like I have rewards through what's the name of the damn place I use? Safeway. So you get rewards. I had two rewards. The rewards can be canned goods. If it's canned goods, that's my first choice. I don't go. First thing is look what let me look see what all. Oh, cans. I can get two cans for it. Okay, let me get two cans. It's free, and since it's free, it's just bonus because you spend a certain dollar amount. Let me get two cans of this and get two cans of that, and then I put it in my supply. Anyway, y'all, two and two. Be blessed. Peace. Like, thumbs up, and share it out, people.